Man, this microphone is so much better than the other one. Go listen to my last video and listen to this one. Big difference. We're here. You know why we're here, because you saw the thumbnail, you clicked the video. And if for some reason this auto played on you and you don't know why we're here, Donnie McCklurkin has a lawsuit against her, and it's just him, Tyler Perry, it all gives. Like, I don't know what y'all want me to do. I see it. Y'all being Tyler Perry and Donnie McCklurkin acting like the truth will set them free, but it gives. Y'all actually did the crimes, but we will let it play out in the courts. But as for me, I kind of believe it. So let's look at the notes I took regarding the lawsuit. I do have a copy of what was filed, but I'm not going to read that right now. I'm just going to get you to recap, because reading the actual paperwork, like, child, that's boring. So I'm going to just tell you what we got going on. Donnie McCklurkin is being sued by a young man named Giuseppe Corletto. The lawsuit was filed January 2nd, 2026. And I do want to say, for those of you that don't know what's going on, trigger warning. Trigger! You may be triggered, and this is your warning. So just know, I warned you about the trigger. Okay, so according to the lawsuit, everything I'm saying here is according to the lawsuit. There will be a second moment towards the end where I talk about Donnie McCklurkin's response as of January 15th, 2026. That is not according to the lawsuit, but we will get there when we get there. But until such time as I tell you this is not according to the lawsuit, assume that this is according to the lawsuit, and we'll be blessed. Amen? All right. According to the lawsuit, Mr. Corletto met Donnie McCklurkin, and if you know me, if you go way back with me, you know I call Donnie McCklurkin Donnie McCklurkin. See, this is not new to me. This is not new. Give me a second. Let me dial it back. Let me rewind. I've been going off is strong. I've been dragging and reading and shading Mother McCklurkin for years. I have a video 11 years old right here on youtube.com of me dragging, shading, kikiing about Donnie McCklurkin herself and Kimberell. Together. It was a 2-for-1. You got to find the video though. It's a game of hide and seek. But if you seek and you find, you'll find, and you will have salt. Anyway, because I don't want the girls that pop over here to be like, oh, she's new and she just found out, or she is now coming to the conclusion that Donnie McCklurkin is gay because of the lawsuit. No, baby. No, not me. And I don't want it to be, oh, she feels emboldened now to say things that maybe she didn't feel emboldened to say because of the lawsuit. No, baby, not me. For those who are new, for those who don't know, not me. So anyway, Corletto met Donnie McCklurkin in 2003. He was 21 years old, and he had read Donnie McCklurkin's book. Donnie in his book talks about how he had been SA'd as a child, and somehow that made him homosexual. I just really, I'm kind of about, I don't think that makes anybody gay. I think there can be some confusion and some other situations with that. I don't think that just made that man gay, but I don't know. That's not my testimony, so I can't really speak on it. But if anybody knows, if anybody has a personal story they want to share, or, anything like that, of course, hit the comments and we can talk. But I don't know. In his book, he talks about how things happened to him as a child, and how he says he was delivered from being gay. It's not coming together for me. It may be coming together for you, but as for me, it's apart. But Mr. Corletto read the book, and I guess he was in the neighborhood. He went down to Donnie McCklurkin's church, and Donnie McCklurkin prayed for him. From what I understand about the church, it was just a gathering of people with similar issues. It was kind of like a support group type beat, where it was just like, oh, brother Uncle Johnny is also homosexual, and so is brother Coleman Domingo. And if you look over there, brother Andre Leon Talley is also homosexual, but they've all been delivered. And if you come over here with us, you too will be delivered. I just don't know about that. I just feel like if you gather a bunch of people struggling with the same thing, somebody gonna slip, especially something like sexuality. That's inherent in people who are not asexual. And you know what? Even in people who are asexual, but we don't have time to go down that rabbit hole today. I'll call you back for that one. Anyway, he read the book about being delivered, and using church terms, he was struggling with his sexuality as well. I just don't know. It's still just not coming together for me as far as the word struggling. Like, Indy Aubrey said, there is no substitute for the truth. Either it is or it isn't. So I just feel like if you gay, you just gay. Like, you don't have to struggle with that for real. But you know, the church wants you to feel a certain way about certain things, and thus people struggle. And now we have this. If church people would just let other people be people, then we might not have this. If Donnie McCklurkin could have just had a first man, we might not have this. But hey, maybe I'm too radical a Christian. I don't know. Anyway. So Mr. Corletto went to Donnie McCklurkin's church. Donnie McCklurkin prayed for him and promised to help deliver him from homosexuality. That just seems like a tall order. That just seems like a very tall order. It's just not coming together. Because who gonna deliver you? What Kaya say? Who gonna be the boys? How are you going to promise to help me be delivered from homosexuality? Who is your, like, this is giving multi-level marketing for Christ. Because who is your higher up? Who the one helping deliver you? Is it Eddie Long, God rest? Like, who is that one for you to be that one for me? I need to see the chain, and I need testimonial, because it's just not, don't just, oh, I can help you, I can help deliver you from homosexuality. I personally have that power. No, I don't think so. I think anybody who has been quote unquote delivered from from heterosexuality. Yes, free yourself of straightness. No, I feel like anybody who says they have been delivered from homosexuality is either not being truthful, be it with themselves or with the masses, or they just wasn't gay for real. And they just like, they was going through something and now they not. It just never gives, you can just pray that away. It never gave that to me. Because if you could, Little Richard with all his praying and all his going back to being a minister and then turning back around and not being a minister and all that, if he could have just prayed it away, it would have been gone.
Good morning.
I feel like the Little Richard we know and love would have never been Little Richard, because he probably would have prayed it away before we got to this point. Anyway, so Mr. Corletto went to the church. Donnie McCklurkin prayed for him, said, "We gonna get you delivered. Don't you worry." And then allegedly, one of the other church members started contacting Mr. Corletto, I guess down to the phone, maybe to the post office. I don't know. It was 2003. And then he showed up at Mr. Corletto's house, unannounced and uninvited. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't come to my house uninvited and unannounced. It's just not, don't do that. Don't do that, because I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm not going to answer the door. I'm not. But different strokes for different folks, honey. If you open that door, that's you. Not saying that to blame nobody, but don't open the door for niggas that show up to your house unannounced. I don't care. Be it my mother, my father, my sister, or my brother. Do not come to my house unannounced. I'm going to be upset. If I do end up coming to the door, I'm going to be upset. I don't like things sprung on me. And I sure enough don't like people sprung on me. But that's just me, maybe. Maybe I'm the only one. I'm going on my tangents. This is rambling. This is rambling. This is what I do. This is what I've been known for. So anyway, after this church member continues to be a wild hare in Mr. Corletto's behind, he contemplates leaving the church. I feel like that should have been, the decision made. But he was in a vulnerable place, spiritually, mentally, I assume. And Donnie McCklurkin reached out to him personally and said, that was a test from God. And you passed. Congratulations. You passed your test from God. Glory. Don't. Just don't. How you know what God is testing me with personally? Y'all wrote up the syllabus. I'm just not understanding. It's just not coming together for me. For you to be like, oh, that was just a test and you passed. Work. You did it. Go ahead, diva. Like, because I assume that's how Donnie McCklurkin talks when he's not in front of the girls. When he's in front of the girls, but not in front of the girls, Anyway, Donnie McCklurkin called him and was like, you did it, girl. You passed. And then they develop a mentor-mentee relationship. Okay. At this point, sure. I'm not finna be too pressed. Like, if it would have stopped right here and everything would have stayed above board, cool. Have your mentor, have your mentee. Keep things professional and religiously professional. Christ-like. Holiness. Still right. Have your situations and such with, I've backed up from the mic. I hope y'all can still hear me. But yeah, have your situations as long as they are respectful of people's time, property, body. And if you say you represent Christ, make sure they're respectful of Christ. I'm not understanding why we got to this place. I'm not. And I'm blaming Donnie McClurkin. I'm not blaming the victim. You the father. You the big grown man. This man was 21. Yes, an adult, but if you older than 21, you know 21 is not grown. Be for real. Anywho, they developed this mentor-mentee relationship. And again, all of this is according to the lawsuit. Hallelujah. And then at some point, Donnie McClurkin hires Mr. Corletto to be his personal assistant. Oh, that's a no for me. That's a no for me. That's a no for me. It's a no. I'm just not... I feel like if you are struggling, as the saints love to say, with your sexuality, and you know you have these proclivities, you know, things, situations like this, maybe your personal test from God. Because here's the thing, he kept telling this man, stuff is a test from God. Who's testing you? You passed all your finals? You graduated? It's not giving that. It's just not giving. If you're struggling with a certain thing, let's not put that thing before us. If you are gluttonous, if you are an overeater, let's not put your favorite meal in abundance in front of you. Let's just not do that. I feel like Donnie McClurkin should never have a male assistant. I feel like Donnie McClurkin should always have a female assistant. I feel that way. Me. Now, everybody might not agree. Some people might say, no, he can have a male assistant. I just don't feel that way. I feel like if you know you have these issues and you know that you are prone to not take no for an answer and you know that is wrong and you know you want to go see Christ when you pass, don't put your favorite meal in front of you. Don't do that. Because now we got a lawsuit. This is terrible. You should have had a lady assistant. And I know in the church, they try not to mix men and women together. And I don't know. It's dumb to me. And it's probably because men are creepy. Men don't, often know how to control themselves. It gives this man should have had a woman assistant. If I remember correctly, maybe he bisexual, but it's still just not, don't put that man in front of you. Maybe get one of those girls, what is it, that don't have the gender. What's it called? Agender? The agender girls. Get your agender. Let me take a sip of this water. Hold on. I was dry. So anyway, we're going to get on through this with God's grace. He hires Mr. Corletto, as his male assistant. And then they would start having pray the gay away sessions. I'm just not sure about that being a session type thing. Just give me my homework and let me go pray it away myself. Let me take that home with me. Let me pray that away in the comforts of my own home, because it's just not giving something we need to be doing together. And the reason being because in these sessions, according to the lawsuit, Donnie McClurkin would start touching this man without consent. Don't stop, move. Now at this point, Donnie McClurkin is setting up interactions with Mr. Corletto and other men, and he frames them as tests from God. God can send his own test. You don't have to do that. You don't, because it's given that's what you did with that first man that kept popping up at this man's house. Because I didn't know where he lived in the first place. It's given he filled out the new member card and his address was on there and you was like, go see what this about. That's what it's giving me. But okay. He set up a test from God. And once again, hooray, you passed. Work. Stop this at once. He was setting up these interactions. Example being, they went to the Bahamas and McClurkin sent a male model to this man's room. And when Mr. Corletto said no, Donnie McClurkin was like, yay, hooray, you did it, you passed. This has to be stopped. Because how many people he done did this to? Be for real. Moving on to 2007, they're on a business trip in California, according to the lawsuit. And Mr. McClurkin brought his girlfriend at the time. They was down to the thing all together, the three of them, I guess. And I guess the girlfriend went on maybe to dinner with her homegirls or something. I don't know where she was at this time, but Mr. Corletto went to Donnie McClurkin's room for something, and Donnie McClurkin took his pants off, exposed himself, and then pulled Mr. Corletto onto the bed, forcibly kissing and touching him. Shoot him. Shoot him. I don't care if he Donnie McClurkin or not. Shoot him. What? And again, not blaming this man, because of course people respond to different things different ways. I would have shot him, but that's just me. Because he said he cried and asked Mr. Donnie McClurkin to stop. And instead of stopping, Donnie McClurkin opened his mouth. What can Burrell say for you to open your mouth and put another man's no square in your face? That's a perversion. That's what she said. I heard her say it. I talked about it in my video. I'll try to remember to link that in the description so you can go see, because she definitely said that. And I guess she was talking about her good sister Donnie, because that's what he did against this man's will. But hey, I guess that's what we do. Not me. Not I said the cat. If somebody say no, I say okay, God bless, and I go on about my day. Because it's another one. What Gucci Mane say? Girls are like buses. Miss one, next 15, one coming. Like, you can say no to me. That's cool. That's very cool. Because I'm probably not propositioning you to begin with. It's just, no, I'm okay. Anyway, over the course of the next 6 years, so I guess from 2007 to 2013, these type of events would happen regularly, I guess. Mr. Corletto says that Donnie McCklurkin would secretly grope him before going up to give a sermon. See, you never know who's ministering to you. Like I said in the BTK video, you never know who you're sleeping by side. You never know people. You just never know. That's why you have to pray. I said it, and I'll say it again. At some point, they had been to Atlantic City and some stuff happened in New Jersey, Long Island, some stuff happened in New York, down to Mr. McCklurkin's house in New York, a park in New York, a hotel in New York. It was just so many things happening. I'm just like, why are you at a hotel in New York and you live in New York? And what is you doing down to the park? You thought this was Piedmont? I don't know. It's just, that is just weird. This is what happens when you tell people they can't be who they are down to the church. This is what happens. This was wrong with Tyler Perry. It's just, when you tell people that they cannot be who they are naturally, they get weird. They get weird. Either they do or they don't, honestly. But a lot of people get weird. When you make them shell up and stifle who they are as a person, they get weird. Like, leave people alone. Folks act like when you go down to the church, you have to come there perfect. And if you are not the perfect that these people deem you to be, then you are awful. Like, be so for real. Be for real. Sister Brenda behind, down to the church. And she know after service, she finna go get a 27-piece chicken, not weave. And she's going to eat every morsel of that chicken before tomorrow morning. She knows she's going to do that, and gluttony is a sin. But she looking at Brother Brandon, and she pressed. She mad because Brother Brandon is fabulous and gay. Like, it's giving everybody at the church regularly think they are without sin. But you're not. And if you were, there would be no point of church. If everybody at the church is already just wonderful and everything they need to be, stop going and let the other people go. I never, especially gay people going to church and wanting to be at church and being isolated. That's so weird to me. Because if you deem that they are a sinner and they have problems, wouldn't you want them to be at the church? Like, hello? And if they deem that they are not sinning and that they just want to be at church, why isolate them? Let them have their feelings and their thoughts and let them still come to church and worship. As long as they not being weird like Donnie McCklurkin and touching on people down to the church house, let gay people just be down to the church. I'm not getting it. Anyway, the lawsuit says that when they were in the hotel in Manhattan, Mr. Corletto attempted to leave the hotel room, but the door was locked. And again, I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just not understanding how the door was locked on the inside. But God bless. Was it a scheme set up by Todd? Was this hotel made by Ryan Murphy? Is it American Horror Story? That's awful. Anyway, Mr. Corletto did try to resign from being the assistant, but Donnie McCklurkin said no, and that his deliverance and purpose were tied to Donnie McCklurkin. Girl, the way I would have just came up missing. I would have just went missing. You will never see me again. I'm gone. What you mean, no, I can't quit? You got me so messed up. Anywho, at some point, Mr. Corletto tried to report Donnie McCklurkin's conduct or misconduct to staff at the church, and they was just like, they paid it dust. That's how a lot of churches are. Don't nobody want to, hear nothing about their pastor, so they just keep it quiet. I think that's horrible. In 2008, Mr. Corletto stopped working with Donnie McCklurkin, but he would still see him at his new job because he worked at a Christian either television or radio station, something like that, where Donnie McCklurkin would be. And so he was still encountering him. In 2012, he got a new job at an airline company, and Donnie McCklurkin popped up in April of 2012 at the hotel Mr. Corletto was staying in during his airline training. Like, he got a track on you? What's going on? He says he didn't want to cause a scene, so he let Mr. McCklurkin come into the hotel room, and he woke up, according to the lawsuit, he woke up being touched by Mr. Donnie McCklurkin, and then he was orally violated and then fully violated by Donnie McCklurkin. Shoot him. Like, shoot this man. Like, and I'm saying shoot him based off of what I'm reading in the lawsuit. Shoot the behavior. Shoot the person who did these things. Amen. Mr. Corletto said Donnie McCklurkin began pressuring him to live with him in California, pressuring Mr. Corletto to live with Donnie McCklurkin in Donnie McClurkin's house in California. And he just continues to show up at the airline gates where Mr. Corletto is working. Is he just buying plane tickets to just pop up at that man gate? Like, hello, what's going on here? I don't like it, whatever it is. He pressured Mr. Corletto to rejoin his church. And according to the lawsuit, the final detail happened June 26, 2013 at Niagara Falls, where Mr. McCklurkin assaulted Mr. Corletto in the hotel room. And at this point, Mr. Corletto says he pushed Donnie off. And then 2 days after that, Donnie McCklurkin sent him an apology email. Child, that email. If that email is real, he losing that lawsuit. He losing it. If that email is accurate, he is losing that lawsuit. God bless me, not him. Okay, so in November 2015, Mr. Corletto says he was struggling with his mental health and went back to Donnie McCklurkin's church. He says he experienced more sexual misconduct, and then Mr. McCklurkin's attorney responded and said, no, he didn't. Basically, no, he didn't. You say he didn't. No, he didn't. Stop. Basically. So now we move on to Mother McCklurkin's response. He got on live. This live, child, first of all, he was sitting up there so Kim Burrell coded, just too close to the screen, glasses all in my face, talking just like Kim Burrell. It was very much giving, I never said LGBT last night. I said S-I-N. And you know she thought she ate so bad when she said that. That's what Donnie was giving. It's giving their twins. It's giving their twins. Anyway, he hops on this live, I guess Facebook or something. You know, he was probably on Facebook Live. And he says, I have remained silent while this media campaign was lodged. But sir, the lawsuit was filed on the 2nd. This video went up on the 8th. And Kaya's phone bill wasn't due till the 20th. So you talking about the Bible tells you to be slow to speak. But you weren't slow. It was just 6 days. It wasn't even a full week. It wasn't a week. You were not slow to speak. You popped on this live and talked to us before I even did. I didn't even report the news until many days later. You popped up sooner than a lot of the media. Like, be slow to speak. But that slowness is only 6 days. Okay. And then he starts talking and he says, I'm trying to be delicate. Well, you are. You are that. You're delicate. That's true. You're doing it. You're being delicate for sure. Lighten those loafers. Sugar in that tank. You're delicate. Definitely. He says it's unfortunate that such allegations have been lodged at him, and he doesn't understand the machinations of the young man's mind. And then, after he says, I don't understand the machinations of the young man's mind, he 40-something years old. He got real, like, I detect a sissy. That's what I detected. Mind you, I use sissy with love. XOXO. It gave Dime Diva. It gave. He's 40-something years old. Okay. Yeah, you're gay. Anyway, and if you know me, honey, you know I love me a queer. I only surround myself with queers. Straight people get on my nerves. Go away. Straight people. I'm kidding. If you straight and you watching, I love you. You specifically. Anywho, he says, I haven't seen this man in so long. It's been about so and so years, 10 years. I haven't seen him since 2015. This man didn't say he saw you last Sunday for brunch and mani-pedis. He said he saw you about that same amount of long. So I'm not understanding. He said that as if that was like, well, he can't be telling the truth. I haven't seen him. But he's saying he hasn't seen. Y'all have not seen each other, encountered one another in that same time spans. And then he implies that he thinks that Mr. Corletto is coming out because this is monetarily motivated. I guess your net worth is $5 million. I looked it up. And sidebar, when I searched Donnie McCklurkin's net worth, I got intrigued because there was an article that was like the 25 richest gospel singers in the world. So I clicked it. I'm like, oh, okay, hey, let me see. There were white people on the list. In the gospel singers net worth page, there were white people. Segregate that immediately. White people do not sing gospel. White people sing Christian music. White people are not gospel singers. Especially, I ain't know these people, but I looked up one of them. She was sitting on her album cover with an acoustic guitar. She's not singing gospel. Stop this. Stop it at once. Anyway, it was also interesting that him and Kim Burrell have the same net worth. They're both worth $5 million. Nobody's suing Kim Burrell for no money. Nobody, because she's not. Gospel is not a money gig. It's not. It's simply not. He says it didn't happen, and the fact that Mr. Corletto is saying that it happened discredits the people that it did happen to. I just don't find that to be the truth. I think if Mr. Corletto is saying that it did happen and it didn't happen, that's discrediting Mr. Corletto. That's not discrediting everybody else. The boy who cried wolf discredited himself. He didn't discredit the rest of the village. The girls just didn't believe him. He really thought he ate with that. He really was like, yes, it discredits the people that it did happen. No, it didn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. We still believe that other people have been violated if this man has not. We still believe that. We still know that. Stop this. And then he gets back in his sassy, sexy mood. And he says he's praying that the gentleman would regain some kind of lucid thought. Girl, McCklurkin, if you don't sit down, you're saying that this man has no lucid thoughts. None. Not a one. This is just all delusion. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that. All of it may be true. Some of it may be true. I still don't believe that man doesn't have a single lucid thought. I just don't believe that. He continues in that live to say he did not do it. And he will rely on the Lord to tell the truth because the truth is loud. And then, he said he got to go to prayer at 7 o'clock. So, amen. But long story short, child, we gonna keep an eye on this. I'm gonna believe the victim type sister. So as of now, I believe Mr. Corletto, especially if that email is proven to be real and correct and true. Then, I'm sorry, but I won't be able to listen to Donnie McCklurkin's Caribbean medley any longer. If, this proves to be true. And even if it doesn't, honestly, because, it was fun. It was a cute little time back when everybody wanted to be Jamaican, but thanks so much for watching. I hope you hit the button, the subscribe, the like, the comment, all the things the YouTubers say. I hope you did these things. And I'll be back. I'm trying to get back in the full swing. So I will be back ASAP surely. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things the YouTubers say, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.